What is up YouTube? Game Triple Eight here, once more with some test hand videos for you guys. I hope you guys will like them and we're going to jump straight into them. The build is exactly the same as in the previous test hand video, so yeah, no changes there. Means we can do the test pretty fast, I hope. Again, I'm gonna hope to test some more with drawing the engage, because that's like the biggest portion that you guys want to see, because the entirety of the rest of the deck is pretty much the same as other builds. Only the fact that I don't play card track and stuff. But yeah, you have so many different hands in a 49 card deck, and sometimes it's just like grinding out. And the sad thing is, because I don't have an opponent right here, I can't show the grinding out. Though I am thinking of posting some dual book replays down in the description. If you guys would like that, please tell me, because it does show duels with this deck, and that might actually be better than just showing some test hands. But yeah, it is what it is, so yeah. Oh yeah, great, Gate 0 and Destrudo. Magnifique. And then we have, at least the other 3 cards are well worth it. It is like I said before, you can draw up to 2 of your bricks, and as long as the other 3 are great starters, you can still go on with it, so yeah. First things first, I'm going to activate that Mastery. I'm going to get the Servant. Activating Servant, activating the Secrets. Now you want to get these out of the deck beforehand, because if you don't do that, yeah, you already know that you're going to banish them with the Desires, so yeah. That's the first counter on our Servant. Then we're going to normal summon our Blue Boy, and we're going to add ourselves the Knowledge. Now, most of the time, I have to say it as it is. People don't ash this, like, not at all. Like, if they have the opportunity, they are always going to ash the Servant. So things like your Spellbook, Magician of Prophecy, and Desires are pretty safe, because they know that you have the Servant, so they tend to wanna hold their Ash Blossom for that. So everything up to there should be safe. If they do ash something like this, you can just go, okay, Servant effect. Knowledge, tribute that Blue Boy. And we're drawing 2 cards. We're drawing Allure and Engage. Now this is more like it. As you can see, we already have 3 spells in the graveyard. We have drawn to Engage. We are definitely going to use that. So we're going to activate the Engage right now. And we're already going to start plussing. So that's actually really awesome. First things first, we want to get another Engage off. So the first target you're always going to search is the Hornet Drones. Just because it gets you to Kagari, Kagari gets you another Engage, and Engage gets you another plus. So, yeah, you get to draw from the Engage, so it's a Jackal King. It's actually decent. We already are going to get one from the Servant, but that's just the way it is. So we're up to 3 right now, and I want my plays to be safe. So what I'm going to do right here is I'm going to activate my Servant, and I'm going to chain the Hornet Drones. So Hornet Drones make sure that, because I don't have monsters in the main monster zone right now, I get my token. It does work like this. You can activate stuff that would special summon, and then you still can get your Hornet Drones. The reason for it is, like with all the other stuff that Sky Striker does as well, they can chain Widow Anchor, multiples, they can chain the Shark Cannon, just get multiple monsters in one go with some spells. So at this point, we're going to special summon the Servant, get a counter. And right here, I'm actually 1, 2, 3 from the Jackal. The Spellbook is the 4th, so if I want to, Kagari is the 5th. So I'm actually weak to Nibiru in this play, so I'm actually going to go for the Jackal King. It says how, like I said before in another video, if you know that you aren't too weak to Nibiru, you can actually go into the Endymion, the master one, and like just be safe from it, so yeah. Now, because the Jackal King wasn't on the board when the Hornet Drones was activated, you don't get additional counters. That's actually the only sad part about that, but, well, it is what it is, right? So, not actually too bad. Now, I have a good target. I have 3 good targets to banish from the Allure, so I'm going to Allure here first. And I'm going to draw another Allure, and I'm going to draw the Shark Cannon. I am going to banish the Gate 0 right here, so that's out of the game. Only to get 2 more counters, so we're up to 3 right now. In this scenario, we still don't have a normal. We couldn't normal summon anyway, so I'm going to go and use the token to make a Gari. I was thinking that if I drew something to special summon, that I could go for Electromite first. That's actually why I actually used my allure first, but it doesn't really matter. I have enough counters on Jackal King now. Kagari's effect is going to fetch me my Engage again. And right now, let's see what we're going to do. I can actually pretty easily go into Appaloosa first. That actually does sound promising, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to use the Strudo on the Servant, paying 4,000 of my life. And it goes to the bottom of the deck. And these go just to the grave, and these to my extra deck. So at this point we have an Appaloosa. I could also go for Saryuja Skull Dread, because I used 4 of my monsters. There's also a thing, and this card doesn't really mind about being Nibiru for its own. So I'm gonna go into Saryuja. I'm gonna put it here, and then Saryuja's effect is going to draw me 4 cards. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I get to put back 3. Now, if your opponent didn't use any hand traps and they don't have anything in the graveyard, the Shark Cannon and the Multi-Roll are already 2 really good cards to put back. And then we still have the Desires to put back, so we have 3 easy cards to put to the bottom. That's actually fun because it fixes your hand. That was a nice Saryuja. So at this point, I know that I can't use my Servant's effect again to be special summon, but I can use it to gain counters, so I can special summon my Jackal King with my Saryuja and be safe from the Nibiru for the rest. So at this point, engage. And I'm actually just going to get back that Shark Cannon. It's a good card to have even even later in the turn, so why not? And I get to draw a card, and it's a purple poison. That's actually not that bad. And of course, we get a counter. Right now, I haven't summoned Time Gazer anywhere. Nope, that's actually great. So I am going to scale my Chronograph. This gets a second counter on my Servant. And I'm going to use Chronograph's effect, so popping it, summoning Time Gazer Magician. I'm going to use Saryuja's effect, and well, the thing is, I should always summon the Jackal King right here because of the Nibiru. Even so, I'm not too worried. So I'm just gonna go with my purple poison, and I'm going to link these off for Electromite. Now Electromite's effect is going to trigger, and I'm going to. Well, I still have a lot that I'm looking for, so. I'm going to send Magical Abductor. Now the reason for that is that I still am able to get me some spells, and the Abductor is actually going to get me full scales anyways. So right now, Electromite's effect, popping the Servant. I don't think I'll need that. And I'm getting my Abductor. I know I've lost some counters, but oh well. I do get a draw from Electromite, so that's always nice. And I get myself another Servant. Like, seriously, guys, is this the third one? Yeah, that's the third Servant. Wow. Okay. Scaling Abductor. Activating Allure of Darkness. So I'm getting 2 draws. And they're Multi-Roll and the Desires. Look at that. I've drawn the bricks that I put back with Saryuja. Should have gone for Pot of Desires first, I guess. So that's 1 counter on the Abductor. Right now I'm going to activate one of the desires, banishing 10 cards. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and getting 2 more draws. And I draw Pendulum Call and Chronograph Sorcerer. Now the deal is, of course, I've already seen the Time Gazer and the Purple Poison. So there are only 3 cards left for me to search, and I've banished 10 that I haven't seen yet. So I've banished the Oath, I've banished the Dragon Pit, so I only have a Harmonizing left in my deck, so the Pendulum Call is absolutely useless. Things like that happen. You shouldn't be worrying about that all too much. So yeah. But the more important thing, this gives you a second counter. Right here, let's see. I'm going to scale up my Chronograph Sorcerer, and this gives a third counter, and I'm going to use the third counter on the Abductor. And I'm going to search for something. So let's see. I'm gonna get Garuda. Do I have something? Sometimes I have to say I do wish I was playing the Link 3 from the Tengi, because then I could just go with that and have more room on my field. But for now it's actually fine. I don't have counters to protect me from a Nibiru play. If I was smarter, I would have. The smartest way, instead of doing the chronograph there, I should have been doing Jackal King. That gives the third counter, get the Garuda. Multi-roll gives another counter. Should have done that. So let's do it now. Sorry for the misplay, guys. Sometimes it's just hard. Multi-roll effect on the Jackal King, send it to the extra deck. Then you can get a chronograph. Gives you a second counter, so you're safe for Nibiru. And now you can just Pendulum Summon, so... Always summon the one Jackal King from the extra deck at the very least then. And then let's see. I should just summon the second Jackal King. There's so much in my extra deck right now. It's sad that I drew like straight into the second into that multi-roll again with the desires. Let's see. I can't summon the Servant. I could summon this, but I think I'd rather keep it for its other effect. It's also sad that I can't give counters to my Jackal Kings. I think I misplayed like seriously somewhere, but oh well. Or just a bad luck from the desire screwing me over. That's actually the reason that I already cut it down to 2 and I still drew the second one, so yeah, just my luck. Let's see. 2, 3, 4. Could actually go for an Appaloosa. If I summon this as well, I actually have the opportunity to go for an Masquerena, so I'm just gonna summon this in the Pendulum and then use these two to go for IP Masquerena. That actually seems a little bit more viable, because now we have one monster negate. We have the IP Masquerena at the very least, which will probably give us an Appaloosa for 3 or 4 monsters, so we still can go somewhere. So yeah, it wasn't the best. I played that out very poorly because of the bad draws, but yeah, those also happen, of course, so... Yeah, I'm definitely going to put the dueling book links down in the description, if I can find some for you guys. That way you can see how I play and what the deck how the deck functions against other decks. It might seem weird sometimes for you guys, but yeah, I think that'll be a good experience. So yeah, Dragon Pit, Jackal, Abductor, Multi-Roll, and Darkworm. not the best of hands. I don't even have a way to get into Electromite. So right here, it's actually kind of sad, but the only thing we can do is summon, activate Abductor, Dragon Pit, normal summon the Dark Worm, get the effect. This is one counter on the Abductor. This is what happens if you don't power shuffle. Like, seriously guys, always power shuffle. This was just really, really sad. I'm definitely going to use the multi-roll already so I can get the second counter, just in case of any other thing. Oh, what I'm doing? No. Keep it in your hand. You can't get Nibiru when you only summon 3 things. So, Pendulum Summon. Activate the multi-roll. This gives you 2 counters on the Jackal King as well. Second counter on the Abductor. Go for Electromite. And with Electromite's effect, we're going to send a Chronograph. The reason I'm doing this is because I can scale the Chronograph instead of the Dragon Pit, get a 3rd counter from the Abductor, and still use my Chronograph's effect to special a Time Gazer from my deck. So right here, using the effect, Dragon Pit, get back Chronograph, and then I'm going to get a draw. So the draw is going to be important, but okay, it's a Garuda. This is actually great because we have an additional negate during my opponent's turn. I'm going to scale the Chronograph up. This brings the Jackal King to 4 and the Abductor to 3. Using the Abductor's effect, and I'm going to go into another Chronograph. The reason for that is so I can at the very least make Appaloosa Jackal King with Garuda in hand, so against monster-based boards that's actually still good. So Chronograph's effect, get in Time Gazer, and then Chronograph effect in the hand, special summon it, and I can actually go for a IP Masquerena play, but because I only have the Garuda in the hand and I want to special summon that, I'm not really sure on how to that is the better play, because as soon as you summon it, you don't have any cards anymore in your hand, so a Unicorn isn't really a good play. So just go for Appaloosa. At least you've made it with 3, so... And I have to say, like, this board, at the very least, it doesn't get broken by Pancratops, because as soon as I summon Pancratops, you have the Garuda, so that's at least a good thing. And at this point you still have 5 interruptions, so that sounds great, but I mean it's decent, so they won't break your board as easily at the very least. Like, even if they have evenly matched, you just give up on your Appaloosa, I feel, because you keep the counters on the Jackal King, and as soon as they go Garuda, as soon as you summon a monster that you don't want on the board, you go Garuda, and their play is stopped. So against things like Salamangreat, that's often even enough. So yeah. Again, I didn't power shuffle, but we're going to see. It's a weird hand. Like, we have a brick in the Destrudo, and so yeah, that's always a thing. But we have the Mastery with the Spellbook and the Shrine, so that's at least very good. So Mastery, go into Servant, activate Shrine, send Darkworm, get a counter. Now, the reason why I often go for the Spellbook engine first right here is, instead of the Darkworm, is because if you draw into engage, you actually want that to go off, and having the Darkworm on the field prohibits that, because you don't have any other monsters. Sure, I can use the Strudo's effect in my hand, special summon itself, make a Dawn Drax or a Meteor Burst in the extra monster zone, or a Link, but in general that's like just a bad play, so I'm gonna go with Blue Boy. I'm gonna go Secrets. This goes to 2. I get Knowledge. Now, as y'all can see, I could have activated my Magister as well already, but I don't think it is that necessary as of right now. I am going to put it on the field right now though, because the draws from Knowledge are actually going to give me 1 counter already, and that's actually enough. So for further plays, I feel. So I'm gonna go with Knowledge. I'm gonna tribute off the blue boy. I'm gonna draw 2 cards. I'm drawing the Garuda and I'm drawing Harmonizing. Not the best cards to draw, but at the very least, we can do something. Right now, I'm gonna use a Dark Worm, special summoning it, and we're getting the gate 0. Servant's Effect, special summon it, and I'm going to summon it with another Jackal King. The Jackal King is going to be our 4th summon, so the Dark Worm and Servant going into Electromite is the 5th. We're safe from Nibiru in this scenario. So right now, scaling the gate 0, this goes to 2, this goes to 3, and we're making Electromite. Electromite's effect. Right here, I do think I want to go with a low scale, so we're gonna pick the Abductor. If we get some luck in drawing something good, we can actually get more counters. So Electromite effect, popping the 0, adding Abductor. Effect of Electromite, drawing a card, and it's a Lure of Darkness, which is actually great. Scale Abductor. So the Magister goes to 3, and the Jackal King goes to 5. And we can already Pendulum Summon if we want, so we can do some plays. I'm going to Pendulum out the... This is actually hard. The Gate 0, I'm going to Pendulum out the Dark Worm, and from my hand I'm going to Pendulum out... Oh my god. I don't need my Harmonizing if I have my Destrudo, so... The only thing is that I want another level 4 maybe. So let's wait for this. I'm gonna go Allure first. I'm gonna draw 2. Time Gazer and Upstart. I don't need the Time Gazer over the Harmonizing, so I'm gonna banish the Time Gazer. And I'm gonna get some more counters, so I'm giving 1 to Magister, I'm giving 2 to the Jackal King, so it's at 7. I'm giving 1 to the Abductor. I'm gonna go Upstart, drawing a Chronograph. So at this point, Abductor is at 2, Magister is at 5. 5, where's 5? And the Jackal King is at 9. Right now, we're going to Pendulum. This is actually kind of sad. I really wanted... to draw a level 4. Oh well. Summoning the Chronograph and the Destrudo. Chronograph and the Dark Worm are gonna go for Masquerena. The reason for it is actually pretty simple. You actually need it for your end board, I feel. So overlay Destrudo and 0, make Absolute. And at this point, we're actually going to use our Jackal King. This seems weird to be using so many counters, but this is a free Appaloosa, and Appaloosa is going to protect you anyway from everything that the opponent wants to do. Nibiru, Ghost Ogre on the... whatever. So Appaloosa, we made it with 3. I'm gonna go Absolute, summon the Vortex. And because we have a Jackal in the extra deck, we're going to use Magister's effect. So we're going to summon this out. Only one counter, doesn't really matter. We're gonna get the Jackal King on the field, also with a counter. Like that. Remember, if you summon with Magister, you have to summon in an extra monster zone or a linked zone, because it's coming from the extra deck, so yeah, there's always that. Right now I'm actually going to use my Destrudo on the Magister, so it's minus half my life. I'm going to scale my Harmonizing, so Abductor gets a third one and Jackal King goes to 3. And now we're going to Synchro Summon, so Destrudo goes to the bottom of the deck, Magister goes to the extra deck. We're getting a Dawn Dragsta. And then we're having the Abductor's effect that we haven't used yet, so we can actually do it right now. And we're just gonna go and add a plus to our hand. I do believe we've already normal summoned because we had the Spellbook Engine. Yeah, okay. So we don't have a normal summon anymore. We're going to summon the Garuda, which means that we can actually try and go for a Unicorn play with Masquerena and maybe Drax or Jackal King if it's used. But that way we need to have a discard fodder. And what better discard is there in the deck than Darkworm? Just in case everything goes wrong, we still have it. Alright, and that's our end board. We have a Omni Negate in Vortex, we have a Spell Trap Negate, we have 4 Monster Negates, we have a Summon Return, and on top of that we have IP Masquerena to make our plays. We are a little bit weaker to Super Poly because we both have 2 Darks or we have a Fusion and a Dark. But even if they do that, we still have a lot of negates and we can just bounce the Starring Venom back to the extra deck. So we still have plays left. And like, as you can see, like the extra deck is still full, so yeah. I do think this is actually a good way to finish the board. I'd like a Dweller instead of the Masquerena maybe, but I didn't drew into another level 4 that I didn't want to summon. Like the Garuda, I wanted to have it in my hands. It's more important that way because it's unexpected. But yeah, that's actually the end board. I've done a couple of combos. Hope you guys liked it. See you in the next one.